An immigration crackdown by the ICE agents in the United States turned into a confrontation when the immigration agents conducted a raid at a farm in California. The standoff took place on Thursday when the ICE agents showed up at the state-licensed marijuana farms in California's Camarillo City. But the immigration and the customs enforcement officials were met with some angry protests. The demonstrators threw objects at the agents while authorities fired tear gas to disperse the protesters. The National Guard troops were also present at the site, accompanying the federal agents with military-grade equipment and vehicles. The latest crackdown on immigrant workers in the agricultural sector comes after days of back and forth within the Trump administration. On the 14th of June, the American president ordered ICE to halt enforcement activities on farms. On the 3rd of July, Trump said that he was willing to in fact let migrant workers stay in the country if farmers can actually, quote-unquote, vouch for them. But just days later, the Agricultural Secretary, Brooke Rollins, took a very contradictory position, saying that farm workers have no amnesty from deportation in this immigration crackdown. Now, America's agrarian sector is facing a big fallout from immigrant workers being detained. Massive raids on some California farms in June left crops unharvested. The crackdown has sparked concerns amongst farm workers and operators alike, who now fear that more enforcement activity from ICE officials could actually result in some serious consequences on American farms. An immigration crackdown also continues in other parts of California. In one such incident, medical staff at a clinic intervened when ICE agents came to arrest a Honduran immigrant worker at the clinic. Take a look at this moment that was caught on camera.
Mira, police, no sé, like KP, acá like KP, aquí, like KP,
¿Cómo se llama?
no like KP, police, hey police, like KP, like police, sí,
Like this is a private district. This is like that.
like KP, police, like KP, police.
All right, now to tell us more with respect to what is happening in the United States, we're joined on this broadcast by our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who's joining us live from New York. Susan, this of course is going to be a big issue, not just for the illegal workers who are working on American farms, but also for a number of farmers who are expecting to carry out their agricultural activities using the farm labor that currently works there. Tell us what's unfolding and what kind of an implication this is likely to have on America's agricultural sector.
Yeah, so, the use of illegal migrants for farm work or other works has really been a topic of debate for as long as we can remember, and we've been talking about it. And these are jobs that, they pay under minimum wage because of the illegal status of these workers. And a lot of organizations believe that these illegal migrants are not only being exploited, but then on the other hand, you have those that are siding with the Trump administration who say that they're just here illegally. The recent incident that happened at the cannabis farm, which didn't have a license, there were 10 unaccompanied minors working under really hard conditions in a cannabis farm. And so what's happening now is most of the time the resistance comes from sanctuary cities, like here in New York, like Los Angeles, like San Francisco, where they're cities they're deemed not to cooperate with ICE. On the other hand, ICE says that they're just carrying out orders from the Trump administration and the government, and they're just doing their jobs. But nonetheless, as you mentioned, this issue is not going to go away. The immigration issue in the United States is really one that has a lot of folds. It's like really a woven carpet. There's so many aspects to it. But for the majority, for the most parts, the issue of illegal migration was something that the American people hoped that the Trump administration would go after. Now, to what extent, that's where the debate comes in. But these protests, these demonstrations, they're not going to go anywhere. Unfortunately, there was an individual at the cannabis farm just yesterday with a pistol. So the FBI is now saying that they have a $50,000 reward for anyone who can point them to the direction of the person that had a gun pointing to the ICE agents. So it's very dangerous. The laws are very murky, but nonetheless, it appears that these raids are going to be carried out and the protests are going to continue.
Right. Thank you very much, Susan, for joining us with all those updates then.